This is Beyond the Headlines. I am Abosedi Adenio Aderemi, standing in for Nifemi Oguntoye. INEC is again in the spotlight. President Bola Tinubu today swore in Professor Joash Amupitan, SAN, as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission following Senate confirmation last week. He takes over at a time when the electoral umpire faces one of its toughest tests yet, a credibility deficit among voters, deepened by controversies from the 2023 general election and lingering concerns over technology, transparency, and trust. Let's bring you a report put together by TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde on Professor Amupitan's swearing in earlier today.
With this swearing in, Professor Joash Amupitan has now been cleared to lead Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission, a task critical to the survival of Nigeria's democracy. He has been charged to protect the integrity of Nigeria's elections and electoral processes, as well as strengthen the institutional capacity of INEC.
Your nomination for the important role and the subsequent confirmation by the Senate is a testament to your capacity and the confidence reposed in you by both the executive and the legislative arm of government. The significant achievement marked the beginning of a challenging yet rewarding journey, and I trust that you will approach your responsibilities with the highest level of integrity, dedication, and patriotism.
President Bola Tinubu acknowledged Nigeria's democratic journey and commended INEC for helping to steer the process despite obvious challenges.
To maintain public trust in elections, electoral integrity must be protected. All aspects of the process, from registration to campaigning, immediate access, voting and counting, should be transparent, non-violent, and be credible. No electoral system is flawless, but since elections are vital to a nation's future, it is essential to continually strengthen electoral institutions, ensuring they are robust, resilient, and safeguarded against artificial setbacks.
Professor Amupitan already has his work cut out. He assumes office at a crucial time when there are growing calls to restore confidence in the country's electoral system and to introduce reforms that will enhance voting in Nigeria. He pledged to defend the Constitution and the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I will reaffirm what I have just taken, that I'm going to defend the Constitution and the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as far as it relates to the electoral system. And like the President said, I was given a clear charge to ensure credible, fair and free election. Not just that I will ensure that that is done, I'm also going to engage all the stakeholders, because no matter how you set the barometer and the level of success, you still need all the stakeholders to be able to succeed.
Professor Amupitan, a senior advocate of Nigeria and professor of law at the University of Jos, was confirmed by the Senate on the 16th of October, following his endorsement by the National Council of State. He replaces Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, whose tenure expired on the 7th of October. The immediate task before Professor Amupitan is the Anambra State governorship election, followed by other off-cycle polls. But Nigerians also expect real change beyond the buzz surrounding Professor Amupitan's resume and credentials. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
The new chairman there, a senior advocate of Nigeria and law professor, has pledged to protect the integrity of Nigeria's elections and strengthen INEC's capacity to deliver free, fair and credible polls. But beyond the rhetoric, what exactly must change for Nigerians to believe again in the process? Joining me is Wale Ogunade, a lawyer and president of the Voter Awareness Initiative. Also joining me is Dr. Yusuf Harun, a policy analyst. Gentlemen, good to have you join us on the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Well, let me begin with you, Mr. Ogunade. Professor Amupitan comes to INEC from a long academic and legal career. What must he first do to shift public perception of INEC from an agency under suspicion to one trusted by voters ahead of the 2027 cycle?
Well, is to just sit down and see how he can overhaul the activities of INEC in terms of the technical and administrative aspect of INEC. And of course, increase the level of awareness of the people. And of course, take steps to ensuring that the two elections before the general elections, particularly Anambra, is taking place next month, and Osun that will be coming up very soon, or Ekiti. We use it as a test run of ensuring that it delivers well, using technology and, of course, goodwill of the people to establish a new INEC that is devoid of all the skirmishes of the past. I'm talking about skirmishes of the past. Our advice that he just goes ahead. Of course, I know that being a lawyer, senior advocate at that, you will do a lot of research, looking at the pitfalls of before, so as to see how we can stand well in ensuring a very good, to becoming a good umpire in the electoral process. Once that is done, you will see people will now gravitate towards INEC, believing it, and of course, knowing that the vote will count. That is another issue. Through these two mock elections that are coming, you should ensure that the vote counts. People are on ground, they know what is on ground, and they know what is happening. So if what is happening is different from what has happened, or what they now bring out, obviously the perception will continue and the confidence will erode. And once the confidence erodes, then definitely we will just be working in vain. And I don't pray that it works in vain.
All right. Very quickly, let's hear from Dr. Harun. You are a policy analyst, and of course, here in Nigeria, you have watched what has been going on previous elections, and now Professor Amupitan is there. What would you say is that first? And that same question for you now. What should he first do in order to, gain voters' trust ahead of the next election cycle?
There are 3 to 4 things which I recommend he should first do as he has resumed the office. The first is what he said when he was undergoing screening by the National Assembly. He said, and I quote, said, "I will ensure the use of technology, including drones." This is going to be an innovative technology and a good innovation in the Nigerian electoral system. We also hope that the National Assembly will approve the use of drones because it has never been used in our electoral system before. Also, to avoid the technical glitch, which many Nigerians felt that the previous election in 2023 was marred with electoral irregularities because of this technical glitch, which the former chairman, Professor Yakubu, had experienced. He has ensured and he has promised that he will make sure that there is no technical glitch in subsequent elections coming forward or moving forward. He also promised that the election will be so transparent that even the loser will congratulate the winner. I believe if he goes ahead to achieve this goal or this feat, people will be comfortable. Look at Atayu Jaga, look at the former previous INEC chairman before Professor Yakubu. His election was relatively credible that even when the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, lost to President Muhammadu Buhari, he called to congratulate. And we've also talked about the well-known election in 1992, June 12, 1992. We saw that that election was credible, that even everybody claimed that that is the freest and fairest election in Nigeria, despite the fact that there was no technology of our time. So why can't we take advantage of the technology of today to make our election free and fair. I must
So now
commend
you...
Senator Adams Oshomole,
All
who
right.
stood in the National Assembly, in the Senate, and said that we should make sure that the election coming forward from the one that is going in Anambra in a country should be what? Should be free, fair, and credible, so that everybody will accept the results.
So you both are making a case for technology, and indeed there is considerable public demand for technology to be used in our elections. And, you know, Professor Amupitan has actually spoken about integrity. He's spoken about teamwork as well as credible polls. So I'm curious, for technology to work, it shouldn't be what INEC alone would handle. You, Dr. Harun, spoke about drones, and we know that even the military forbids drones to be flown, you know, in certain areas without authorization. So what sorts of collaboration are you looking at here? Dr. Harun, please.
Yes, it is a very, very good innovation, and I encourage it. Let us look at China as an example. Even their delivery of packages through drones. Yes, I know for security reasons, the military might be concerned about the use of drones in certain areas because the so-called militants or terrorists might take advantage of drones to cause harm to people. But I believe also that the Air Force can monitor these drones. The military can work together with the intelligence agencies, Air Force in particular, to make sure that the drones which are being flown are ones that are safe and are primarily for electioneering and not for any other security risk to the country or the nation. In addition to this, I also believe that if these kinds of technology are used, in addition to the drones and also fast time or real-time results, which everybody can see on their phones, INEC can develop an app or an application in which, as everybody is thumbprinting and putting it in, the results are reading, just as we saw in the United States of America between the President Donald Trump and the former Vice President Kamala Harris. We saw each state coming out on the screen, and we're seeing who was leading, red and blue states. I believe Nigeria can do such a thing. We have many intelligent people in Nigeria, especially these Gen Zs. They are very intelligent. They can
and you will agree.
In which
you will agree, Dr. Harun, that with this also comes that challenge of funding. And we know we're going into a new year. INEC already has a budget for this year. So, Mr. Gwade, how do you think INEC could navigate this, the quest for technology in our elections and the weight of finance that comes with it? Mr. Gwade, please.
The states which they want to perform election, I believe they can use it as a test ground for the states coming in. We have
Gentlemen, we do need to take a break. When we return, Mr. Gwade would respond to that question. Please stay with us, everyone. We'll be back in a moment. Chairman Professor Joash Amupitan takes over the head of affairs today. My guest, Wale Gwade, a lawyer, and Dr. Yusuf Harun, a policy analyst. Mr. Gwade, there is a lot of advocacy for technology to be deployed in our elections. And I was saying earlier that with this comes that weight of finance as well. You know, how do you see us navigate that space, especially because now this year is almost ending and there are certain elections we need to execute before the year runs out?
The issue of technology and election is a time which is that the issues time has come, and there's nobody who wants to avoid it. Waiting for this spoil, and it has come to stay. And the earlier Amupitan does that, the better for him. And of course, it's one of those things that will ensure that Nigerians remember him for good as somebody who brought technology full scale into the electoral process. And electoral process, you'll see that in other aspects of our life, technology has come up to stay, particularly in the area of monetary. As a few seconds ago, I was on the back side of E4, not even E4 itself, at the back side of E4. And of course, I had to send money to somebody, and it went on without any stress, using one of these mobile wallets to send money. That's technology. So the same way, we can send money, and of course, if we can send money, then obviously we can send our votes, we can thumbprint even online All these are things that technology will bring about. It is when people want to be funny that they will say it is not possible when it comes to issues of election, but it is equally easy when it comes to issue of sending money. I'm not in your studio, I'm in my own chambers, and here we are reaching the whole world. Why not then should technology not be deployed fully in election activities?
Indeed, that's
So
the
it is
power of technology, Mr. Gwade. Very strong tool there. Let's explore some other things that the chairman, spoke about. He emphasized staff welfare and institutional efficiency. So how much of INEC's credibility do you think depends on internal culture and the motivation of its staff, Mr. Gwade?
Obviously, generally of all the elections I've been involved with in this country since 1999 till now, there is no election that the issues of the INEC staff compromising not coming up. Always, even the last by-election that took place, some of them were caught in a compromised way, and of course, that is because of remuneration. Once they are well remunerated, once their welfare is well taken care of, once they know that if they are caught, they will be disgraced out of the system, definitely there is no way they will want to be they will want to compromise their status just for a mesh of pottage. And to that extent, welfare is key. Insurance is key. Their salary advancement and all is equally key. Those are issues that should be taken as a first line by Amupitan before they even move further. Because once these people are comfortable, then you can be sure that they will deliver very well on their mandate. And that's what we want to happen in INEC this time around. The welfare of the staff, once it's taken care of, then they will be able to work wholeheartedly.
All right, Mr. Gwade. I hear you on that. We also have different categories of staff. We have INEC's full-time staff who are in their offices day in, day out. We also have the ad hoc staff who are mostly youth corps members who are deployed, during elections. Dr. Harun, how do you suppose, what kinds of upgrades would INEC have to do at this time? And do you really think, this would be very effective, really, in removing this issue we're having about maybe corruption of staff of the commission? Dr. Harun, please.
It will be very effective. I am very optimistic. I'm an incurable optimist. I think it will be very.
It appears there's some challenge with Dr. Harun's connection there. I know, Mr. Gwade, you spoke about.
Chairman, Professor Amupitan has to ensure in the INEC system is internal auditing. Every electionary process, there are huge funds budgeted to INEC, billions.
Right, we'll try to do something about that and get back to Dr. Harun. But coming to you, Mr. Gwade, INEC, some would say they are actually not jealous of INEC because it operates in a highly political environment. Its chairman must now walk a tightrope between government mandate on one hand and impartial administration on another. What can he do differently?
Is that for Mr. Wale or for
That's
me?
Mr. Gwade, please.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He was now sitting.
Hello, is that for me, Doctor,
yes,
or for
he has
Mr.
to
Wale?
look at the question. The past, the just as.
Mr. Gwade, please go on to respond to that question about what Professor Amupitan must do differently.
Is what future. What he must do differently is to see the welfare of his people, the staffers initially, boost the morale of the staff. Then, of course, look at the issue of their insurance. Insurance is key. Just as I said some few seconds ago, whenever sometimes you are in the field during elections, the staff, or even the adult staff, they are faced with a whole lot of challenges bordering on insecurity. And of course, it goes about they now camping for safety times, or even sure of themselves because they are not insured. But insurance is best. And
You spoke about those, Mr. Gwande. You spoke about those earlier, and I had actually slightly moved from, staff welfare. Now I'm talking about the fact that the INEC chairman is faced with, is standing between what some would call maybe the devil and the deep blue sea, because he has to contend on one hand with, government mandate, and then of course also impartial administration. So I'm just asking, aside staff welfare, what must he do at this time to be able to marry and balance these two responsibilities and deliver effectively, Mr. Ogwande?
The INEC chair should know that he's in the eye of the public, and the level of awareness have increased, and his own appointment has generated a lot of interest with the huge background that he's bringing on the table. And of course, he will not, and he should not disappoint people. So all he needs to do outside the box. Thinking outside the box is to bring out ideas and policies that will improve the activities of INEC in terms of deliverables. And what are these deliverables? What people want is a free and fair election. And it does not matter whose ox is God. All we need to run a transparent administration for people to know that, yes, there is no hidden agenda here. And once that is done, everybody will know that, yes, this man is clean, and of course, he is doing the right thing, not dancing to the whims and caprices of the authority or government in power. This time around, let INEC indeed be independent. Let them answer name fully. We'll call it in the Aluta word. Let him answer his name fulala.
All right, Mr. Gwande, let's quickly go to Dr. Harun now. If you were to define success for INEC under Professor Amupitan in the next 12 to 18 months, what are the three indices that, the three measurable outcomes that you would use?
Three indices I'm going to use. The first is that Nigerians, voters are not disenfranchised. So they must allow that many Nigerians are able to vote, unlike what happened in 2023 in some parts of the country, where some people allegedly claim to have been disenfranchised or prevented from voting, either because of tribe or ethnicity or religion. So number one is that INEC chairman must succeed and ensure that every Nigerian above the age of 18 years has the right to vote, irrespective of their religion, ethnicity, or gender. Number two is that success which INEC will bring towards this forthcoming election in the next 12 months or 24 months is that it is free from corruption, bribery. It is free and fair. That is the second achievement INEC will make, irrespective of who bribes them. And it's not only INEC chairman. We should remember that there are 36 REC, resident electoral commissioners. The INEC chairman just collates all the 36 states results and announces the final winner. So we should make sure that even before then, the RECs, the resident electoral commissioners, are also disciplined. And the final achievement is technology. I'm going back to my word, technology. We should innovate technological advances towards INEC to make it credible. Look at the health sector, for example. We have MRI, we have CT scan. You can see what is in the internal organs of a human being who is alive without cutting the person open. This is technology. We can see the banking system. You can transfer money from one person to another. You can see how we are communicating with each other because of technology. Even education now, distant learning institute. So INEC should use
technology is
advantage
key
of technology to provide a free, credible election. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Harun. Dr. Harun is a policy analyst. He's been my guest. Also, tonight I've been speaking with lawyer and president of the Voter Awareness Initiative, Wale Ogwande. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, that is our show today. Watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abosadi Adeniran Jeremy. Bye for now.